Happy Hump Day, happy hour. You know what's funny
You
though?
left me hanging. What's funny?
Sorry.
No, okay.
I was gonna say is that when a woman has pockets, she can't not put her hands in the pockets. This is why when women have dresses that don't have pockets, they're like, where the hell are the pockets? Because once you introduce the pockets to the dress, it's like every dress needs to have pockets. So now I feel like if I don't stand with my arms, I just
You don't
got
know
my
what to do
hands
with
in the
your hands?
pockets. What?
Is that what you're saying? You don't. So when you don't have pockets, you don't know what to do with your hands.
Put them in my pockets.
Like Talladega Nights.
Yes, like Talladega Nights.
And you know, when I was a kid,
Yeah.
guys didn't know what to do. We didn't have belt loops because we'd all do this.
I see. I don't have belt loops.
No, you don't. You
Nope.
sure don't.
I
And there's
should.
one
They're
pocket in the middle. You're
overalls.
like a minion. She's always like a minion. Remember the who wore it? But or no, he was
Yes.
you.
Mhm.
It was you in both, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I had a gray jersey. This is this material I'm wearing here, but it was all gray jersey overalls and a cropped yellow t-shirt. And Phil said I looked like a minion.
Yeah,
And
it's
I
a little bit
can't-
late.
I'm not saying you're not wrong.
Good, because I was right.
I said that opposite. I'm not saying you're wrong because I was saying he's not wrong.
I'm way too far into cocktails to know what you're saying.
Yes, he is. He is so much further into cocktails than I am, to be honest. Last week, I was a little tipsy when we filmed it, and
Oh, because your dad said this?
no, my
Now
dad
you're
didn't say it
nervous.
was
You don't wanna
tipsy.
drink too
My
much.
dad said that I looked like a ditz. Nice dad. But it wasn't that. It was that I usually don't pre-funk for these because I get drunk so much faster than he does. And I am a sipper. I am a sipper.
And you don't have to because you have a very outgoing personality anyway.
I know, yeah.
only drink before because if I don't, then I
This is
feel like
true,
I'm doing
yeah.
some sort of a corporate training video. This is the
Yeah.
only way that I can just loosen up a bit.
This
You
is-
know how it is. You're married to me. You know what this is like.
I'm definitely married.
She's
John.
like, get Phil drunk. Okay.
Yes.
But
yeah, so we're... Yes, what?
No,
Sorry.
yeah,
I didn't
you haven't
mean
had
to
a cocktail in a
interrupt you.
while, so I'm gonna make you one.
I just don't want them to see us fight again. So yeah, I haven't had a cocktail for a while, so I'm ready for one.
Let me see what time it is.
I'm excited about this because it's combining two of our favorite cocktails, which is a Cosmo. It's like a staple signature. Any?
Did you watch that show? That was from Sex in the City. They made it famous, right?
Oh, for sure, I watched that show.
I never
No,
watched
he
that
hates
show.
that stuff.
I never will watch
He
that show.
calls it crap or trash or whatever.
That's not
just
even
like
why. It's
he
because of somebody who's in
hates-
it.
He
I don't
hates.
hate- I
What's
don't
the other
hate-
show
I
I
don't
love so much? Grey's Anatomy.
Oh yeah, I do hate that show.
Love it.
That's awful. That's so
Love
bad.
it.
I hate it.
He gets real mad at the idea of Grey's Anatomy, but Sex in the City.
I'm mad at me?
You know what?
I'm just surprised because you haven't been drinking.
Doesn't make me perfect.
You're really perfect.
Thank you, honey. Yes, so Sex in the City did sort of highlight the Cosmo, but it's a great drink. It's a great cocktail. It's got all the elements. It's got your acid. It's got your sweet. It's got your, what our favorite liquor is probably vodka.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It is. I know a lot of people. I'm just thinking of Austin because he doesn't like. I don't think he likes vodka.
Yeah.
And we went to
Some people
that
do.
hip, trendy bar downtown. Not Austin. This was actually Brian Taylor. And I went to this, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not making a effing vodka cocktail." You know, like
Who
it's
said
just
this?
they turn their nose up. The bartender at this place that Brian and I went to. He's like, "We got gin, we got whiskey, we got tequila, but I'm not making anything with vodka." And it's because it doesn't really have much of a personality on its own. We've talked about this, how it's like kind of the tofu
Yeah.
of spirits.
Right.
But that's what we love about it because you can let
Exactly.
other things come
Right.
through.
Because
Hey, if you
I'm
love
sick.
your whiskey and your gin and your tequila so much, don't mix it with anything. Stop making cocktails. Just pour it over ice, and that's beautiful. Love it. But if you want to mix stuff, then be open to vodka because it's delish, right?
I agree. agree. Yeah, I think that's it. You hit the head on the nail.
I love it.
Because it's flavorless and it really accentuates whatever flavors you're putting in it instead of having to accommodate the strong flavor of the other liquor. And I appreciate other liquors, but I appreciate when we make cocktails like that they are very balanced. Versus a vodka drink, I think you can just have so much more play with it. You can manipulate it so much more. So much
Like,
more
don't get
fun.
us wrong. We love tequila. We love gin.
Yes.
Whiskey's okay.
Gin
Whiskey's
makes
okay.
me nutty.
All right.
All right, so today we are making not a Cosmo, not a traditional pomegranate martini, but what are we calling it?
Pom-opolitan.
Oh man, that would have been
Is that
so
right?
good. Yeah. I don't...
Would have been what? So much better if I said it quickly?
Yeah.
You can just, it's called a jump cut.
Yeah, but this is live.
You're right. Oh, shoot. Bad news. I forgot to bring a shaker.
Pom-opolitan. You better go
crap.
upstairs and get your shaker or something,
You know
right?
what? No, screw it. What do we have around here that I could use?
Use some of the decoration. Can you use this lantern?
I could, but it's so big.
How about this block?
No, can't really use that. Shoot.
I don't know. What about,
You want me to use an airplane?
I don't know. Maybe
You want me to
this
use an airplane to make a cocktail? Seriously?
Yeah.
I gotta tell you right now, if we use an airplane to make a cocktail and I pull this off, I expect 100 new subscribers.
See, don't have expectations. I think you just live life, you do your job, and
So dirty,
everything
by the
else
way.
will work out for itself.
Yeah, we're gonna make a cocktail with this rocket.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna get started.
Good. You make that.
We're so excited about our happy hours because in 2 weeks, is it 2 weeks?
Yes, 2 weeks.
We're gonna be doing one live from Hawaii.
I'm doing the holiday.
Yeah, you do it for sure. This reminds me of one of my favorite movies, Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Of course.
Such
That's
a
his
good movie.
favorite movie. And then, of course, Hawaii reminds him of that movie.
Why do you say of course? By the way,
Because
I'm
you've
drinking
watched
some
it
bubbly
a
here in case you
million
want.
times.
Remember, it used to have green on the bottom, right? Or was it yellow?
The ducks is yellow.
Yellow?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's already yellow. Never mind. Anyway, drinking a little bubbly here. I think that bubbly is a really good booze to drink if you want to be bubbly.
Sorry.
You should have some bubbly.
I'm sorry. I'm so embarrassed about it.
I think back
Yawning.
to some of the times when I was like, I don't know, just the happiest after having some drinks, and it's almost
agree.
always after drinking bubbly.
I agree with that. And then I think that it's not really a mimosa thing, like a cheap champagne and sugar added, orange juice thing. It's like a really good glass bottle of champagne. It makes me so happy.
Let me just give a real quick overview of what I'm going to put into this, and while I do that, can you go grab Libby because she's barking, whimpering at the door?
They can't hear this.
No, I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about Libby. Oh my gosh. You're like, they can't see the prisoner in the cage, so don't worry about it.
You're painting a really dark picture of how we treat our animal, but I'll be
That's-
back.
All right, so actually this is the Perfect Cosmopolitan, and this is the pomegranate version, but I've been making Cosmopolitans for like at least a decade, maybe 15 years. And I just kind of shoot from the hip like I do with every other cocktail. And I've never been impressed with them. And every time we go to these restaurants that are our favorites, they make Cosmos that I'm like, this is just amazing. And I don't understand why mine never turn out that way. And there are so many dynamics to it. I don't even want to get into them. But all I can say is this. I decided just a few weeks ago that I was going to figure out how to make a fried Yorkshire Terrier sandwich. Oh, hi, Libby. I was going to figure out how to make the perfect Cosmopolitan. So I checked out a bunch of recipes, started experimenting. This is what I came up with, and I'm telling you, it's nuts. This is the only way to do it in my mind. It turns out perfectly. Number one, everybody's going to tell them this. Do not skimp. Don't use normal vodka. It's going to suck. use citron vodka. It doesn't have to be absolute. There are a lot of citrons you can do.
Kettle One has
Kettle One,
yeah.
Grey Goose has it too, like whatever. But you gotta do that, all right? And ratios, like this is the one cocktail that I make where I actually use a recipe. And I pull it up on my phone every time, except I know what it is now, so I'm not gonna do it today. But the ratios are 1, 2, 2, 5. 1 for the lime juice, and then 2 for your cranberry, or in this case, pomegranate. 2 also for your Cointreau. That's Cointreau, in case you didn't know how to say it, because it's very confusing. And then 5 for the citron vodka. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. Oh, by the way, that's for 5. That's for 2, because I'm making one for me and one for you. If you want one, do you want a drink?
That's
it
so
seems
sweet.
like you don't want to drink. I'm gonna be
No,
honest.
I'd love one. That's very kind of you. I do find it lovely that you were telling me all about. She did not.
There's no booze in it. It's just disgusting. That's all. All right.
Anyways. Yes. Well, Phil never lets me down. And honestly, I don't care how he makes them or if it's a recipe or if he's winging it. They always turn out pretty mind-blowing cocktails.
Quattro.
Hey, so we were talking about how in 2 weeks we're going to do our happy hour in Hawaii. We're super excited about that. We're going to be there for a bit through Inspirato and using that membership. We're doing the pass membership and taking full advantage of it and traveling for free for 0 nightly rates. And we don't know where we're going after Hawaii. So that is like the best anticipation, excitement, build up as we get closer to being excited about going to Hawaii. We're also excited about where are we going to go next. I don't know. We'll find out.
Where do you want to go next? Oh, out of all the places that we've looked at so far, what would you pick?
Oh, there are so many that are high up on the list. There's something about Punta di Mita. I know.
Which one is that?
That's Puerto Vallarta area.
Okay.
Very close to
That's a
Puerto
good house.
Vallarta.
It's a good house.
Yeah. Something about that is like calling my name. I have never been to Cabo. So I am super, super excited about going to Cabo. There's that Caribbean island, the Bahamas.
Turks and Caicos?
No, not Turks and Caicos. That one
yeah, the Bahama.
Amazing too. But the
Bahama
one I get mostly excited about places where we have the week-long stays. So so it's like this little 2-bedroom cottage. It's an island in the Bahamas that you can't fly to. You have to take a boat to, and it's like a total resort area, but the house is like in a residential area, and it's the resort life with the home.
Is this the one we looked at today or a different one?
I think we looked at it today or yesterday.
Okay, yeah. It looks awesome.
It looks awesome.
And I still can't wait to go back to the place. We talked about going to the Dominican Republic.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to go back, but hopefully we're going to get this other house.
Yeah, so there are amazing houses available through Inspirato in the Dominican Republic, but there is this other house.
It's so amazing that when you share a link, this is the social sharing image on every single one of them.
It's their thumbnail image.
Yeah, it's the thumbnail. So you send this back and forth on social media or text message, and it looks like you're sending the same house every single time because it always uses the same social image.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, not cool. You can hire us and we can fix that for you. But that's how awesome it is. This house is so cool that they use it as the default image, and it's nuts because it looks like the house that would be owned by a drug lord.
Yes, I agree. This reminds me of Scarface a little bit. Like it's like the architecture and being on the water, and everything is open. Like every room is open, and there are no closed living rooms with walls.
Yeah.
There are no walls.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, just subscribe because we're definitely going to be staying there maybe before the end of the year. And so we'll do an episode from there and you can see the whole thing. It is absolutely nuts. And that's what Inspirato means to me. It's like the ability to have houses like that. I don't care about all the hotel deals they have or some of these other things. Hawaii is great. But for me, this Hawaii house that we have, which is great, its own pool, its own hot tub, It's borderline. I want the drug lord houses.
I don't know who I married. But yeah, I'm excited about that aspect of Inspirato, but mostly I'm excited about traveling, just traveling, because it's really hard to do with kids, and we found a way to travel so much with kids, and it doesn't have to be limited to spring break and just summer break or just holiday break, which you want to spend with your family anyway.
Yeah, part of that's like the school, but also it's like especially during the pandemic, to have a house where you have your own pool and your own hot tub and you don't have to worry about social distancing when you're at a resort or anything. Like that is just, it's amazing. And
it's a great point.
We like our homes, but we don't have a pool. We don't have a hot tub.
That's true.
It's only if we stay at a resort. So this is key for us. All right.
Shake it up.
What I like about doing some of the recipe cocktails like this, which again I hardly ever do, is that you can put it in there first and then you're done. So we can take our time. I don't care that it's warm.
I'm gonna take my time.
I'm gonna use this footage later.
No, you're not.
Yeah. That video.
Once is enough.
All right.
You're welcome.
But then we can sit there and then we put our ice in at the last minute so it stays super ice cold.
Okay.
So, I've been doing a lot of weird things with ice lately. The spheres, the cubes, those tiny cubes. We haven't even used those actually.
But yeah.
They're like awesome.
I wouldn't call it weird, but
well, no,
awesome.
Because I think those are synonymous. Yeah. Like I grew up, people called me weird, and I assumed, oh, wow, they think I'm awesome.
I love that about you, baby.
I know.
You are weird.
I'm like, why are you so weird? You're in Rocket Club. I'm like, I know, right? It's badass. Okay. So today, this is another thing. When I was doing the research on making this cocktail the perfect way, the Perfect Cosmopolitan, what people said is, you gotta crush the ice. And actually, she said, I have a Vitamix, which we have. We swear by the Vitamix blender. And she's like, this is what it's for. Put ice cubes in there, blend them up, and we do that, and it literally makes snow. In fact, I think I put some of that snow in here. I mean, you can't tell the difference between regular snow and what comes out of that. However, I think that's a little too much because it definitely waters down really fast. But ice cubes from the typical freezer or whatever, they don't work. Especially like we talked about when we had Amanda on here for that episode.
Remember banana?
We talked about how you can't really make two good martinis in one shaker because you can't shake it enough to break the ice up. I feel like we just got to break the ice up. So,
because you can't be a slave to making cocktails 24/7, right? You got to make two at once. At least cut half the time.
So instead of just regular ice cubes, it's like, you break it up. And actually, this is a combination of some of the snow that I made in the Vitamix and then some of the ice cubes that you and I broke up earlier, where we just like put them in this Ziploc bag and then smash the shit out of them with whatever you have that's really hard. Right? You know what I'm talking about. So we put it in there. And the whole idea here is that we want to get the really good ice crystals. And it doesn't come from making it so cold that it forms ice crystals. It all comes from breaking up the ice that's in there. So what we do is just put smaller chunks in there and then they break up more easily.
Genius!
I feel like
Mind
Elon Musk
blown.
making these little rockets of amazingness.
Okay, Libby. Let's go. Ready?
Libby doesn't like it when I shake cocktails.
She barks. But not when I hold her.
Holy
But then when
crap.
I hold her, I jump.
This is why she's so nuts. Because she only gets nuts when I make cocktails, and I make cocktails constantly. Poor
Might be
thing.
true. Okay, ready? I'm gonna hold her head.
All right.
Okay.
And the great thing about the smaller ice cubes is you don't have to shake as much. So when we do the century cocktails, martinis that I make, where it's 100 shakes, nah, it's like 10. It's like 10. When your hand freezes to the shaker, you're done. Okay.
My sweetheart.
Can you use normal glasses today, even though we like to take them out of the freezer? I'm sorry, baby. Should I go get the cold ones, or are you okay with these?
It's your call. I'm never picky.
What's up with her ear?
Flipped.
Oh my god.
I'm not picky. Your call.
All right, let's just do it in here. Even though usually we'd pull this straight out of the freezer.
Spontaneous.
Anybody in my family who's ever stayed at our house would tell you that the majority of our freezer is taken up by glasses because we like to keep them nice and cold.
I live at our house, and I know this is true.
You ready, babe?
I was born ready, yeah.
The Perfect Pom-opolitan.
Pom-opolitan.
No, perfect.
Perfect Pom-opolitan. I saw Patricia's picture in your pack.
It's not what I thought you were going to say. Okay.
10 points.
Definitely
I know what that's from.
Darker than the Cosmopolitan. So it looks like it's going to be really sweet, but
Naturally.
obviously it's not going to be because we know what our recipe was and it was perfect.
Yes.
We're not doing any garnish today because once again, I squeezed all the limes we had without slicing one for garnish. I'm so sorry. You probably are mad.
That's okay.
You probably hate me.
That's okay. You'll make it up to me. All right, let's see how these taste. Cheers. Cheers, love. Oh, that's good. You know what it reminds me of?
Yeah, Cheryl.
It does remind me of Cheryl, but it's not her
No.
pomegranate martini because this is definitely like a pomegranate I can't do it, babe.
Can I do what? Say it.
Yeah.
Perfect Pom-opolitan?
Perfect
Pom-opolitan.
Pom-opolitan.
Yeah.
This is definitely, well, I'm trying to say it's definitely a perfect
Cosmo.
pomegranate Cosmo.
Yes. So one of our very good friends out in Coronado, she's a bartender at what was a really good restaurant, and since she's been gone, it's just gone downhill.
Nice.
But
Stab.
she has this amazing pomegranate martini, and we get it without fail every time we go out to Coronado. Every time we go to her place
Yeah. Oh,
this
that's
is different.
really good.
with the bubbly.
Babe. My mind is blown.
Come here, Libby. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you take her. I need 2 hands on this. That's the cocktail. Babe, that was amazing. So he did a little topper of bubbles. Oh, sweetheart. I love you. And this is amazing. Amazing. This is a home run. Speaking of home runs.
Watch Colt's video.
No, well, yes, we are making a little bit of a video out of his accident proneness. But I was going to say, his Little League team just won the playoffs this past weekend. And now they're going to the championship. So this weekend.
Second year in a row.
Second year in a row. And last year, I have to say, was different because last year was legit bad news Bears.
At the beginning of the season.
At the beginning of the season. And then very freakishly won games that I didn't see them winning. They were bad news Bears last year. Definitely at the beginning of the season. But bad news Bears improved through their season too.
Yeah, you're
So I
saying
stand
Bad
by
News
that.
Bears this year too?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah. No, they're fine.
Last year they made it to the championship, but it was like a bad news Bears situation. And this year I've been so impressed with all the kids on the team, but I'd say especially because I'm his mom, Colt is like dedicated to the game, to the craft. Don't you dare. So wish him luck. He's going to play his heart out. I know he will.
Hey, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already because we want to see you on all of these happy hour episodes and all the normal ones too. And we really want to know if there are any specific cocktails you recommend. If you can send a recipe that you really like, then we want to make it. We have a few...
He'll perfect it. He'll change it.
No,
If
not
I hear-
necessarily. If it's awesome, I just want to make it and then give credit to you. Because maybe it's perfect already.
What he said.
We have the Lockwood Margarita, which we've never made. And we'll do that one. And I didn't make that one up at all. We're going to do that pretty much verbatim.
Classic martinis. We haven't done
We
that yet.
stole the duck pea recipe from Toby Keith, even though he called it the trash can.
Yeah, this is
So
duck
we have really
pea.
good
We're
stuff.
going to wait until
But
Oregon Ducks don't play until November 7th. First
do you think she
game.
knows she's upside down?
Yeah.
Never mind that.
Ask her.
It's not as funny if she knows.
Yeah, so we'll save that duck pea recipe for right before a duck game.
So that'll be after Hawaii. And we already have the recipe for Hawaii. We're not going to tell you what it is. It's going to be a big surprise. It's going to be amazing because we actually, with Inspirato, you can tell them ahead of time what you want. And they're like, if you want fresh fish, like pulled from the ocean, we'll do that for you.
Pull it right
With it
out.
being Hawaii, we know that we've got some very special fresh fruits. I'm not going to ruin it, but we've told them we need this, and this. And it's all like local Hawaiian stuff. It's going to be, I think, one of the most badass cocktails we've ever made on Hump Day. Can I help you?
It's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be so good. And only bad side, Wibby Woo won't be there.
Nope.
Wibby Woo
Nope.
stay in California.
She's gonna be with the babies there.
All right, thanks for coming by today. Let us know what you think of the Perfect
Pomatini.
you.
Pomepolitan.
I've had too many.
Cheers. Happy Hump Day Happy Hour.